The Helicarrier Assault event has recently started, and it really does look to be a good event as a catch-up mechanic for newer players, mid-game players that are trying to build their rosters in order to take advantage of all these towers and scourges and things like that that we have. Now, there's, again, a lot of good here, a lot of good. There are a couple pitfalls, a couple points we want to point out. Let's go ahead and get into the milestone and see if we can break it down. So as you see in my case, what I have here is Sinister Six members, and that does indeed include Vulture and Shocker. My question to you, though, as a community is, are you seeing the same thing, or do you have a different team selected? This really does look to be a good event. Perhaps they'll rerun it and help us to, again, bolster our rosters a little bit more. There's 180 shards per character for the main characters that they're trying to give us. There's also a secondary team. So there's 100 shards per character for the secondary team. In my case, that is the Mighty Avengers. And as we make our way down the milestone, we're going to end up getting diamonds for these characters. Again, Scopely's just trying to reward you for playing the game. So the way we're going to score points on this is I'm going to use those characters in Alliance War, right? So I got to use my Sinister Six members in Alliance War. They're going to get points. And the caveat is they need to be at 4 stars. I can also use some power cores. And again, this isn't necessarily a power core spending event, but if you are a newer or a mid-game player, you probably are using your power cores anyway to give yourself campaign and give yourself campaign energy as well as ISO 8 energy. So if you're going to get rewarded for what you're already doing, why not? Now, we do recall the caveat there was the characters needed to be at 4 stars. So we're just going to look at our Sinister Six rosters just so I can keep all the characters on the screen. We're just focusing in on that top row. So we look at our characters that we did so far. This is my new player account, by the way. We have that. We have 4 stars on all of those characters. So we're going to get another 180 shards. The advantage there is obviously good shards, and that will mean we don't have to farm as much when it comes to our shop credits. It will save us some shop credits overall in farming, and that is a good thing, right? Shop credits, mine are continuing to dwindle. As many are, it's difficult to keep up with them. So this is a good bonus. When you see things like this, it's a good bonus, and we definitely want to take advantage of it if at all possible. Now, the team that was selected here for me is a good team. Sinister Six is a great team. They're a raid team. They're usable in a war, in Crucible. Good raid teams are excellent tier 2 teams, by the way. So again, I don't know if you're seeing something else, but raid teams by and large are some of the more important teams in the game. It's a different perspective that a lot of people may not share, but raid teams specifically, once again, are able to be used in all aspects of the game. Much of their kit is available. They're made for sustainability. They're made to work together. So, for example, an Alliance War team is good at Alliance War, but then usually the second best teams in that category are going to be raid teams. Sinister Six, once again, really good. Now, there is a little bit of concern, and I would like to break that down as well. The other team that we were going to get shards for, in this case, were the Mighty Avengers. So each team, it looks like there's a pair, there's a duo of teams. Somehow there's a primary and a secondary team. So the secondary team for me was the Mighty Avengers. As you can see here, I don't have any investment for the most part in the team. So with those additional shards, this is not something overall that would help me, at least with this particular team right here. If there's other teams, so if you're seeing something different, maybe that team would help you better. I encourage you to ask questions in the comments. You can hit me on the Discord, especially when it comes to that secondary team. Is this something that you should be building? Generally speaking, if you haven't put any investment in the team, the answer would be no. Again, one of the things that I don't know about, we're trying to ask is, as the new player experience changes, they have events that give you characters. So it is entirely possible that just, although this is a newer account, it's past the point where they would have given Mighty Avenger shards for free. So this is just speculation on my part. That could be a thing. You might have more investment for free in that team. And if so, then you want to go ahead and take advantage of that if they're going to give you those character shards. You don't necessarily need to put a ton of power into that secondary team, but it can be useful. Let me give you an example. So let's take a look at my Alpha Flight team here. This is one of the other teams that could have been selected on that list. And a lot of these members were given to us, all these members were given to us for free. We, for the most part, did not build this team. There were milestone events. There's a first, second, and third strike milestone event when you're bringing up a new account that gives you a certain amount of characters, gives you a certain amount of teams. It brings them up to certain gear tier levels. So Alpha Flight is one of those teams. I don't have to build them necessarily any further, but if they're going to give us more shards, then I can always top them up that way and, increase the power of the team. We got North Star here, so I can do that with him, add on to the stars, and if they're going to give us more, why not? This doesn't seem like a huge thing. People might question why it's happening, but again, as we move along into the Age of Fear, and we're going to continue to have these towers, have these scourges, you need more teams, and newer and mid-game players simply do not have the backlog of teams that are necessary to get through, right? We need something to chew through those first opening floors so we can get to the floors that are named. We saw, for example, in an earlier Scourge event, if you didn't have the Accursed early on, you kind of lost out. That's something that I think they're trying to adjust. They're going to try to open it up a little bit more, especially in the early stages, but it doesn't matter. Like, let's say they open up 5 stages that are a little bit more, they don't necessarily need a specific team. It's not going to matter if you don't have 5 teams. So once again, this is a great way to help people get their roster stronger. I guess, Scopely, the only suggestion I would have is perhaps, especially for that primary team, if you want people to be able to move forward in that, maybe we should give them a token and bring them up to that 4-star level. Or if we're going to continue to rerun the event and the computer is going to pick different characters for us each time, then that's great. That means it will work through our roster. Find those teams that we've worked on partially and build them up. I understand the event may not be made to take a team from 0 to 100, but it is good that they are looking for where we've already put in effort, find that partial team and help us build up even further. Again, the big point there is you can use them in these Scourge events, you can use them in these towers, and it lessens the amount of shop credits that need to be used. So for me, that is a win-win. Again, we'll be able to make a little bit more progress here. 180 shards will put me at that 200 mark for Superior Spider-Man. They're going to give me a diamond at the end. I'm still going to have to fill out that last star, but it will be progress that I don't necessarily have to invest. Right? They're going to give me some of that. They're going to fast forward my account. Not much, but some. So overall, I think it's a good idea. I'd like to know what you think. Are you seeing the same team as me? Are you seeing something different? And again, please put in the comments, or you can hit me on a Discord, which 2 teams you have. We can talk about whether or not it would be good to push into that second team, or maybe we can just see if other people are having some of those secondary teams augmented earlier in the game. I'm really curious about the new player experience. I think Scopely's doing a fantastic job with that. There are some tweaks and things of that nature that could be inserted, but they're not going to know if we don't help them to understand what it is that we need. If you haven't seen this video right here on the free-to-play experience, the game is extraordinarily free-to-play friendly. Please check that video out and leave a comment. We're trying to gain as much research as possible.